I told myself, I said, Taeju, you're not gonna put out another video until your March and K-pop video. Don't even think about sitting down and editing another video. But I couldn't help myself because I don't talk about IVE a ton on this channel, and when I do, it seems to be negative, which I promise is not reflective of my actual thoughts about the group. I like the group. I like the members in the group. I think their music is fantastic. I like a lot of their concepts. It's just that I so happen to like other 4th gen groups more than them, specifically just a few from their own rookie class. Wherever IVE goes in the 4th generation, they have a target painted on their back. It doesn't matter what they put out, it's always going to be criticized. In a sense, a lot of the hate that IVE gets is a lot like what Blackpink was getting when they were starting up in their career. But whenever IVE drops something music-wise, the rest of the 4th generation collectively holds their breath. And so the other day, they dropped Kitsch. And I'm going to say Kitsch because I think that's how you pronounce it. Probably am not. I'm really bad at pronouncing things. Now, a kitsch is an art, object, or design considered to be in poor taste because of excessive garishness or sentimentality, but sometimes appreciated in an ironic or knowing way. You can relate this from generation to generation, like things that happened in the 80s, things that happened in the 90s. Oxford Dictionary uses a lava lamp as an example of a 60s kitsch. The whole music video has this very teen crush concept, and a lot of the lyricism revolves around like, why do you care about the things that I like? Let me live the way I want to kind of stuff, right? Now, I do think this is leaning more into the teen crush concept, but we've seen them like dabble in this a little bit, especially in Love Dive. I wouldn't say I've really make, girl crush or teen crush music at all. I think they make almost elegant sounding music, maybe glamorous is a way I can say it. 11 and Afterlike and Love Dive all have these very shiny sounds and looks to the music videos. I'm honestly quite surprised they haven't done like a royal concept yet, like actually like a princess concept with a bunch of elegant dresses, because I feel like that's what their music sounds like to me. So I'm one who appreciates at least a little bit of a darker concept they're going for, especially the music video direction, which was very frantic in nature. I was not someone who was in love with this music video. Even for a K-pop music video, there seemed to be a lot of cuts, and there's not enough sets to match the cuts. I couldn't focus on half the styling at times in like the background sets because there's just so much cutting. I don't know if that's just me, but compared to some of the other music videos, this one's just a bit bland for me. I'm not hugely disappointed by that because, again, this is a pre-release. They're not supposed to put all of their effort into this. And then there's the song itself. I'm not someone who's going to be like a negative K-pop commentary channel and come on here and say, this is terrible. This is the worst thing. Like, no, this song is not bad. Actually, I think this song is decent. It just fails in some aspects to do some things. Before I trash on this song for the things it does poorly, I will talk about the things I do like, being the individual sections. Quite like an NMIX song, which people have coincidentally compared this to an NMIX song. But I'm sorry, if you're calling this an NMIX reject or an NMIX song, I say this with the utmost respect, you don't understand what an NMIX song is. Just because the chorus has a different instrumental than the rest of the song does not immediately make it a mix pop or an NMIX reject. Please do not start that narrative. But I do like the individual parts of this song separated. I like the verses. I like the pre-chorus a lot. I like the harmonizations in the pre-chorus. I actually really like Wonyoung's tonality in this song. This might low-key vocally be my favorite song of her specifically, out of maybe all of their songs. I like a good amount of the styling. The fucking outfit that Gal wears while she's sitting on that throne is fire. I love Ray with pink hair. I don't know what it is. I love her with pink hair. I'm a Ray bias in general. She is my bias in the group, but I love her with pink hair. And honestly, I don't hate the concept of this drop in the chorus. Like, I like what they were trying to go for, which was this switch up, this much darker sounding chorus compared to everything else. Very loud. It sounds very loud in my car. I do this thing where I play a song in my car to see how it sounds compared to everywhere else. My car has a lot of bass to it, so I know if it's an enjoyable song for me personally, since I like a lot of bass, if I play it in my car and it has a lot of bass. This song passed the car check. It sounded really good in my car. With that being said, let's move on to the things I don't like, because I imagine a lot of you negative Nellies out there are probably waiting to hear what I hate about this song. Couple of things in particular. First is the lack of lines that Liz has gotten. That is the big debate around this pre-release. is the fact that Liz got just under 6 seconds of lines, including a really short portion at the beginning, and then was basically never heard the rest of the song, and she's the main vocalist. I said this in the short that I made about the song, but I will say that just because she's the main vocalist and this song is not very vocally intensive does not mean that she doesn't deserve a place on this song. In fact, the line distribution for this song is just kind of weird in general. Like, I saw a lot of Yujin. I didn't hear a shit ton of Yujin. Also, it's the fact that Liz gets like no video time either. She's not in this video a lot. And because of that, I saw a lot of people speculating saying, oh, maybe it's because she gained weight and the company doesn't want to put her on camera. That's kind of where it got to. I'm not pushing that narrative at all, nor do I necessarily believe that narrative. Liz has gotten a lot of hate, especially in the past couple months, for her quote-unquote weight issue that seems to be like, oh, she visibly has gotten bigger, and like, Liz does not have a weight issue, and I want to can that narrative now because I think that's a really stupid narrative. But safe to say, Liz was shafted on this song, both in the line distribution and in the music video. It just felt like she wasn't part of the group here. Next, let's talk about that really abysmal rap section. And look, again, raise my bias. I love her. And her and Gal helped write this rap section, and I believe Ray also wrote a bit of the Afterlike rap section, and I liked Afterlike's rap section. Here's the thing, Ray is a rapper in this group, similar to how Dion is a rapper in Twice. They are not the most technically gifted rappers. In fact, I would even say they are technically gifted rappers, but they filled their niche perfectly within the group. Again, a lot of Twice songs and a lot of IVE songs do not need rap sections. They just don't. They're not a song that's built for one. However, we know K-pop and we know how the industry works and how a lot of companies want to push this rap narrative for some reason. So we have songs like this song which do not need a rap verse that get one anyway. And normally, Ray is pretty good at filling that niche. With that being said, this rap section, I apologize to you, Ray and Gal, this is nothing against you personally, is horrendous. The lyricism is terrible. Leave YOLO in like 2011. We don't want it here. And you know what? I'm being generous. I may let YOLO go as long as this flow is fine. The flow isn't fine. It's the opposite of fine. It's really bad. Do you know what, in my opinion, ruined this song more than that weird chorus, which we'll talk about in a second, is this rap section. It broke the flow of this song. If you want to point to how to not do a rap section in a K-pop song, this is going to be my new example. It's just how you don't do it. And that sucks because coming after Afterlike, which I actually thought had a decent rap section, here's a thought. Have a more traditional bridge where you can put Liz on. Maybe showcase her vocal ability a little bit. Nope. And let's get to one of the bigger issues of this song, which is that kind of weird dichotomy between the rest of the song and that chorus, the switch up. Again, I don't hate the concept of doing a switch up like this, but it's the execution that is bad. The drop itself does not have nearly enough build up to pull it off. The instrumental itself sounds hollow and weird. Probably like, Rob, did you say it sounded good in your car? It did sound good in my car because my car has an incredibly loud bass system. If I play this in any other headphone that I own, the bass is just non-existent. So what happens is you're throwing all these synths and all of these drums into this one section, and none of it sounds cohesive. It sounds super messy. Like, the production here sounds really bad. And that's weird because this is IVE, bro. Normally, I love their production, love IVE's production, Eleven's production. I love that. What happened here? And here's the problem. The music video doesn't do a good job at representing the bass drop in this song into this darker chorus. The music video is very stiff. There's not a lot of transitions where there needs to be. This drop is supposed to be very edgy and very aggressive, but the camera work is not edgy and aggressive. In the final chorus, they throw in some flashing beams of light to make it look a little more crazy, but it's not. The rest of the music video does not do a good job at portraying the drop very well, especially when the song ends and it pans out and the beams of light are still flashing. So like, it's the opposite effect is happening in my ears that I'm seeing on screen. The music video ends up hurting the song, and that's a problem because in K-pop, the music video is supposed to be like the butter to the bread. I deem Kitsch as a missed opportunity. This was a concept that I could have smashed. And look, we're still waiting for the full release of the album, so they could do this concept and they can do it successfully. And I'm not worried about this album. I do know this song has mixed reception. I'm personally someone who does not hate it as much as the next person. But there are some people who are starting to panic a little bit about how this album might sound. And like, I'm going to tell you right now, just calm down. There's no need for any panic. It's hard to live up to IVE releases because they've dropped 11, Love Dive, and Afterlike, which are 3 songs which I have high regard for. I like every single one of the songs. Love Dive was my song of the year last year. Okay, so of course when they drop a song that tries to be experimental, tries new things, but fails at it, it's going to sound really bad compared to a Love Dive, which was basically perfect, besides a few little details. Kitsch missed the mark, and that sucks, but you know what? I'm still anticipating this album, and I can't wait for their comeback, because it's IVE, and they're 3 for 3 on title track so far with their comebacks, so I'm not worried about this one, and neither should you. So please calm down. I'll see you in the next one.